your morning iced coffee.
Gracias.
We started making iced coffee, I think on like day 2 of being anchored. So we just like make coffee normally, which is with our French press. And then I pour it into a bowl and I put it outside and let it cool down. Then I put it in the fridge and then we have it for the next day. And I've actually been just adding a little bit of vanilla to it too, which is really nice. But it got really hot and I can't even imagine drinking hot coffee. So this is like a godsend. Yeah, last night things got intense and I just started feeling really like unhappy and emotional, and Bill realized that I was basically just hot, and we turned on the AC and we didn't film it because I was too hot. But we ran it for a few hours, and yeah, I just think especially during this heat wave, like we just kind of gotta do what we gotta do. Doing my morning routine and putting away the dishes that dried from last night's dinner, and just thought of something I wanted to show you guys. Our eggs are not refrigerated like they are in the States, and so we just keep them in different places. I have 2 in there, and then I keep this under the stove, which is kind of random, but they stay secure there. But every few days I turn them, and that is just because of the heat. I want to help keep them, I want them to stay good as long as possible. And so when you turn them, the yolk, everything that's in there is sitting against a different part of the shell, and that supposedly helps them keep longer. So like the shell doesn't weaken, I guess, from just being in that same position. So that's one of the things I do every few days, because we bought quite a lot of eggs and we want to keep them good. Kind of had a look around and see what was going on with the produce. Dug out some avocados that needed to come out. Unfortunately, 3 of them at the same time. One like little miracle is these bananas have been doing phenomenally. I put this little, it's like wax paper kind of stuff, cling wrap, around the stems, which I read helped. And then I also washed them, because supposedly the companies spray like a ripener on the outside, and that's why they go crazy ripe super fast. And I've never ever been able to keep bananas for more than a few days. My mom sent me this thing about onions. Put them in pantyhose and like separate it by a knot, and supposedly that keeps them good for a long time. And kind of funny, they look like boobies. but yeah, so far that's been working really well. So yeah, I mean, the best place to test any like tricks of this nature is on a boat. When you see something like that, you gotta get it out, because vegetables communicate. If you leave a bad one in there, they all get bad. While I'm putting away dishes, he is looking at the weather.
Yeah, so it's been predominantly south, which is why we kind of took like a zigzag across the Sea of Cortez and then motored in light air down. But today, for some reason, there's a random northwesterly that's flowing like 15 knots right now, which would be perfect to sail south. But we just had friends arrive and they got in late, so I wouldn't want to push the agenda and go sailing today. But we're trying to figure it out because none of the models show it. So, like, if we advance to Wednesday at 9 in the morning, we're basically supposed to have no wind. We're right here at this green. And it's supposed to be a predominantly southerly flow here. The only thing I could figure out, and if you look at all the models, right, so everything's sort of showing dead or southerly. The only thing I could kind of correlate the two is that there was this forecasted westerly overnight at about 11 knots.
Which was true. We did have that last night.
So it just seems like this is lingering more. So I guess as I advance forward, I'll look for something that has a westerly hitting, you know, like maybe Thursday, so maybe Friday morning there's lingering, maybe not, I don't know, but that's the only thing I could figure out from looking at the weather. Like, that was a stronger westerly.
Why? Like,
yeah.
Is there something that happened over the last day that we can put together the crumbs? And we've only had a west wind at night one other time. Yeah. It didn't develop into a north wind the next day, but this time it did. So we're just trying to... I think the weather's
very localized here. It's not. Yeah. It's not like I think of all the mountains and heat effect. Like, it's not. You know, the global models are not going to pick up the nuances of this area. So. We're not really in any rush. I don't really have an agenda, so. Going for a little paddle.
And we're going together.
Grace can. Nice. Can't really paddle that well yet.
I'm not 100% sure how my arms are gonna like the paddling motion because they've been kind of sore from swimming. So I just don't want to push it.
Makes sense for me.
And Bill feels like paddling, so he's gonna paddle me. I actually probably just gonna swim. Maybe he'll paddle me a little bit.
So dusty, even though we wash this thing.
That is the dirtiest boatyard.
That's just coming off the paddleboard from when we wash this thing. What? Whee! Okay.
It's a little bit tippy. A little more tippy than we remember.
Yikes.
Shit, how do we used to
Never
do this?
paddleboarded before.
Hold on, let me move further.
Should I get up or is that like crazy?
We just fell in and then back to another trip. I'll try one more time.
Let Grace get on first. She took me down.
Here in the Sea of Cortez, Mexico, it is officially hot. Well. It's summer, and we're in the desert. But thankfully, we're anchored and with plenty of access to cool water.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it might be a little premature for me to be paddling, but I'll go back into shape. Been swimming and stuff, and yeah. It's like a few hours later and we're just chilling now. Actually, it's not even a few hours later, it's like an hour later. And just wanted to raise awareness to the fact that the AC is on 82 in here.
Feels much better. Better, to be honest. Feels much better than it's like to be.
And of even more significance, I'm finally starting to really respect the amp conversation that every boater wants to have all the time because it directly affects my temperature now. And I'm partially kidding, partially not, but we've been running not the generator, we've been running the AC all day.
I think he used about 50 amps all day after, we got fully charged and then we turned on the air conditioner. So, yeah, that's not too bad. That's a lot of hours of cooling.
I'm really impressed. And now
our solar, we made almost 8 kilowatts of solar today. Which is a lot. I think like we used to make 3 or 4. We made 8 today because it's just sucking the power down. But most of the day we were pulling 1,000 watts out of the sky to run the air conditioner. Today was an edit day for me mostly. I'm actually a little bit sore from like my big week of physical activity. I think just my body, I don't know what's going on. I've been feeling really good, but today I'm tired, so I worked. Listen to your body.
So hot right now. Like, it wasn't as hot a few days ago.
I hope it doesn't stay like this because we don't have that much gas. We burned maybe a gallon. We took 15, so yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, this is just like day 2 of feeling like extra hot, so. Our first week cruising in the Sea of Cortez has been just what the doctor ordered after so many months removed from anchor life. With temperatures rising, we decide that a sail with some breeze might feel really nice. Oh God, that's like a legit tree. I don't even know what to do with this.
That has never happened before. This is crazy.
This is bizarro world, huh? This is insane.
Yeah, it's like wrapped around it. So we're gonna say goodbye to our lovely Anchorage, San Luis, and hop down to the next spot, about 6 miles south. Hey guys, we have like a legit tree wrapped around our anchor. So And our friends have gone ahead of us. Small World is way out there now. It's crazy because there's like no trees anywhere around here.
There it goes. That was much easier from the dinghy.
Yeah, good call. Okay, take 2. Bill's putting up the main, and we're gonna try this again. Such a beautiful day though. The water is aqua, crisp and beautiful. We are making our way around that sandbar, rock bar thing that we came around to get in here right now. We can see the green water meeting the blue. And we have our forward scan on again, and it doesn't show anything.
No, it's deep enough.
Wow.
They don't call me Magellan for nothing. I don't have to remind you guys of that, do I?
Okay, so water got really shallow. We're literally following our track that we came in on, and we got up to 11 feet and could see 6 feet in front of us on the forward scan, so we just turned around. So we don't know what's going on, but we're gonna be conservative because the charts aren't great here. There's really no chart data, really, like right here. So we're gonna go around the other side of the island, which is gonna take a bit longer, but we'll get some more sailing in because now we're gonna be more downwind to go around the island this way.
It's early in the day. We got nowhere to be.
Yeah, we've got nowhere to be, but wow, what an eventful day already, like, cruising, man.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, this is pretty pleasant.
I was excited to go sailing today. We're going the wrong direction, totally, but it's part of the fun.
You.
7.4 knots. She's got a bone in her teeth.
How much are you?
11. Woohoo! Have a steer, having fun.
Long time since we flew this, yeah. We're officially peeled over now.
Cool.
Hey friends.
Looking good, guys.
There's gonna probably be a lot of like sail changes today.
Yeah, we're going all the way around these islands.
Looks good. She looks real good.
Like dueling sailboats, though.
Oh yeah, you love racing.
It's always more fun to sail with friends.
Yeah. And Small World is a
3-foot west sail.
Ooh, God, this is like really healed over here. So yeah, they're a bigger boat. Much heavier boat.
Yeah, like our lines sound like shit.
Yeah,
That's from the dust. Like they're not, you know, they
Yeah.
don't go smoothly when they're being ground. Can't believe it.
Better tweak something.
I think it's just their mass. They're heavier than us.
Yeah, they're come on, substantially heavier.
Hard away. it's so soft.
Treat her like a pearl pudgy.
So excited to go out to eat. We figure another great way to beat the heat is not to bring any extra on board. So we're taking the night off from cooking dinner. It's a wee bit hot on shore. Absolutely no breeze right now.
He sounded French or something like that. Your rudder skeg hung.
Can we move the table that way a little bit? We just moved spots. Come down here. It's a little bit cooler. I like food that I didn't have to sweat to make.
We did sweat on the walk here, though.
There you go.
This would be peanut butter and jelly, and I'd make it, and I'd be so stoked.
No.
Why is it so close to me?
Sorry. I always do that.
Cerveza.
Cerveza también para mí.
Hey.
Dragging?
No. Seems stable.
You know.
Yeah, it looks like this is sort of the leading edge, and there is something coming across the sea at us.
A big band of the main one, or what?
It looks like it'll pass north of us, but it's a pretty good-sized blob.
Oh wow, that's the north.
Yeah, I would say like the front is like 2 times the size of that island that's up by Bay of LA. I forget what it's called, but it's sort of like decent size, but it's like might hit us or skirt a little north.
Okay, maybe that explains our wind angle. Okay, well I think we're kind of consistently showing that same 250 or 255 from the anchor, so I feel like we've drug a little bit but reset. It's definitely a little harder than this, but I think we're okay. How about y'all?
We're at 276 from our anchor, so it's stable right there, but I have the engine on just in case.
Yeah, probably why we charged the start battery when we got here, just to make sure we had good juice. Okay, I think we probably don't have anything to do unless you have a suggestion.
No, I think just hold tight for now, you know? I'm not about to reset the anchor if it's sort of dug in.
Yeah, how much change did y'all end up laying?
We're down to like 180 now.
Chubascos, or another name for squalls in Central America, are violent thunderstorms formed by hot air rising over the Sierra Madre mountain range on the mainland. Sometimes the cells dissipate, but other times they come barreling across the sea, packing 50 knots plus, winds and lots of lightning. So it's wise to keep an eye on the eastern sky before bed.
I think we're gonna try to find some breeze. It's getting stiflingly hot in here.
Yeah, getting this boat ready, I am sweaty.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start picking up anchor here. The wind just died off. Hopefully there's a little more breeze in the other spot. I kind of read the guidebooks, and it seems like you have to be off one of the sandy beaches, because otherwise it's kind of deep and rocky.
Yeah, we saw the same.
So we're gonna move base today. This place is it's a big lagoon, pretty protected, very hot, very still. Also, the holding is not great. We dragged a little bit during some of those Chubascos, so don't really want to tempt fate again. So I'm gonna get us out of here.
We're not keen to spend more time in this hot anchorage with bad holding and also risk dragging in another Chubasco. So off we go, 6 miles to the next spot.
Whoa!
Again,
What is that?
it's like every day.
It smells. weird. Okay.
We're a bit surprised to see the brush our anchor chain has snagged because we're in a desert. It's not often we pull anything up, and twice in 2 days, given what we assume is sandy bottom, is unexpected.
Oh my god.
You let that drag for a little bit. Well, that was a mess.
This is an odd place.
Yeah, I don't know where all the grass comes from. It's surprising. It's desert.
Oh. So hot. Really hopeful that the next place will be a little cooler, but it's kind of hard when it's like the 7 hottest days ever recorded on the planet. Like, to be cruising the desert, actually, I mean, I feel like it could be worse. It definitely could be worse. Yeah. How are you holding up?
Okay.
I mean, it's nice that it's cloudy, I guess. Too.
Yeah, well, I still don't trust the engine fully, so I'm always like a little bit,
Yeah.
I guess just waiting for the other shoe to drop. So far, so good though. We're in chop though, so it's like, you know, we're tearing something up, but good to test the boat.
The other really good thing about not having the right wind to sail for the last, well, the end of the last trip and then this trip is we get to test the engine, and so far it's been performing really well, so very good.
So that is 10 feet
Under us.
under us.
Starting to go a little deeper.
Yeah. The tides are just
Very low right now.
significant in the Sea of
Yeah.
Cortez.
Especially in the northern sea.
Yeah.
In and then around, you can go all the way up to this bay here. There's absolutely no chart data, but we'll find our way.
Very different.
But not a lot of room for us. If I tuck in here, if I come from this direction, if we're out the first point, we could wrap around a little more.
It's hard because we need protection from the regular
Yeah, it's
wind direction and then from potentially these Chubascos.
really cool, but too tight for anchoring up Chubascos. I really want to go in there, but that's probably better dinghy exploring.
Well, we're gonna explore this new spot. It's a very pretty little beach behind us. I think it's like 95 in the cabin when we left. Yeah, I think the heat is just, yeah, sucking the life out of us, but we actually cleaned the solar panels off when we came in, and we're getting a lot more power, so we'll be able to use that to run AC later. Gorgeous. The water is definitely a little clearer here.
I'm going deep.
Yeah.
It's clear. Pretty nice.
Every miles we make south, we get closer.
Yeah, it should be clearing up. This looks pretty clear.
Yeah, this is perfectly clear. It's as clear as it gets. I can't believe I just got that coyote on film. He came right out. I don't think he was afraid at all. I feel like he was kind of curious, but I've never gotten that close to one. Last season, they seemed really skittish, so I don't know. I can't imagine there's very many boats that come here, so maybe it was just a particularly bold one. I don't know. Oh, this is such a nice beach. Go for it. It feels cold because it's so hot.
Really?
To me it does. And I can see all these little fish right around my feet. Feels good.